Welcome, everyone. It is Tech for Senior. It is April the 11th, and this is episode 107 and we are now in season 3. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We have, of course, a lot of people in the audience today. We have 76 people. Thank you for coming. As I've said before, it is your enthusiasm that keeps us going and keeps us producing the videos we have. And I know that as I was watching the Masters on Sunday, I was busily recording my segment and getting it all done and working so hard at it. And I thought, I really want to be watching the Masters, but I did it. I got it all done, and also watched a great golf game. Thanks everyone for those of you who help within the chat, and thank you for those who we don't know all the answers, and it really is helpful to get some support there as well. As you know, we're broadcasting this show over to YouTube. Our YouTube feed will stop in about 50 minutes just before Ray's music segment. If you want to pop over after that, you can certainly do that and come over into our Zoom meeting. We'll let you in, and we have a Q&A, of course, at top of the hour. Then for our premiere service today, we have a couple of part twos. We have, of course, Dewey will be continuing on with his ATSC 3.0 Next Gen TV Part 2, letting us know all about that. I will be doing the Part 2 of virtual reality for seniors. Exciting time for that. It's a good presentation. And Huey's going to talk on Google Drive and file management with a Chromebook. And that's often a bit confusing, so it's a really good one that Huey did. So you might want to watch that. I have put the link in the chat, and I'll do that a few more times today. And it went out as well in our Saturday newsletter. So the link should be there for you to watch that at hour. I want to thank, we had a couple of donations this week to our coffee fund, and Jenny Shoemaker and Patricia Foster was donated this week. Thank you so much. It helps us pay the bills, and that really is a wonderful thing. Thanks so much. All right, let's introduce everyone today. We have a big show for you today, so we're going to try and start it a little bit earlier, but I want to introduce everybody. Huey, you had a big day on Sunday. Do you want to tell us about how your meeting went?
Yeah, you can continue in the Google Home app.
Sorry, I'm just going to mute everybody. I guess I didn't mute them all. I'll just mute them all. And if you can unmute yourself, Huey, just unmute. There you go.
Yeah, I did the Windows Special Interest Group for Central Florida Computer Society yesterday. We had a nice crowd. We had a lot of good discussions, and it went well. It was a lot of fun. The recording's on YouTube, but I don't have it on my website because I'm out of room on the page, and I got to do a lot of finagling. I got to create a new page and move some of the it's a limit to the size of information I can put on a page, so I have to create another page of the older files. But it was a good show. We had a lot of good conversations and discussions and Q&A, and I covered all the topics that I was going to cover. So they're all there, and they're all on. It is on the CFCS YouTube channel, not on my channel.
Okay. Thanks so much. We'll be hearing from you later on, I guess, as well.
Yeah, and please make me a co-host.
Oh, you want to be co-host, do you? You want everything, of course.
Well, if you want me to do my 2 presentations today, yeah.
I'll do that. Let's see how your third COVID shot, eh?
Number 3, and number 3, just like number 2, the day after is a killer. But hopefully it keeps you from getting it altogether. So
right.
And it was convenient. I was at the senior center. I was playing pool, and the health department came in and said, "Anybody need a booster?" So it was, you know, it had been almost a year since I had my second shot. I
Right.
said, well, heck, this is as convenient as it'll ever get.
All right. There you go. And you're feeling better today, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. And Ray, what's happening in Pine, Arizona?
Well, it's 70-degree weather every day, so it's pretty nice up here this time of the year. It's my favorite. But I've been working, as I told you before, on converting all my family videos that are on tape, like high 8 tape, into digital formats. So next week I'm going to give a 10-minute presentation on that, explaining the process that I use.
That'll be exciting. Yes, thank you so much. Excellent. And where the heck? Oh, there is Dewey. Dewey. Now you got to remember where Dewey is. Dewey's not, of course, home yet, and he's left Arizona, but he's been driving around in electric trucks. And I wonder if he's going to ditch his Cadillac for an electric truck. So what do you think, Dewey? What's your feelings on that?
Oh, not that quick. We're here in Superior, Colorado, where the Marshall wildfire, driven by winds of like 100 miles an hour, destroyed nearly 1,100 homes. And this is just one of them pictured behind me. It's quite a devastation. But anyway, we're at our son's house here in Superior, and he's got a Polestar 2 on order, and he made an arrangement for one to be delivered to the house yesterday. And Joanne and I both took it for a drive. The fellow spent an hour with us. It was a thrill, needless to say. It's a sleek looking vehicle, and it's got a lot to offer. It was on the one pedal mode, which meant I would press the foot feet down to go forward and let it up gently to engine brake it. So in other words, you drove it with one pedal, and that takes something to get used to. The best moment was when I got it up to 100 miles an hour on a straight stretch of road without any other cars. It went from 45 to 100 in about 3 or 4 seconds. It was unreal.
Oh, wow. All right. So listen, we demand, we absolutely plead with you. You have to do a segment on this. All right.
I'll try to include it in a segment or something. Okay.
All right. And of course, Bill James is not to be beat out by this. He's waiting for his electric Volvo.
Well, maybe.
Well, maybe. Tell us about your new Volvo.
My new one or my old one?
Well, no, I thought you're getting the electric one.
Well, that's kind of a plan, but it hasn't been done yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I have an older one, a 2019 I have, which is gasoline.
All right. Okay. Well, it's one of the things that I really would like. I think we had one person that had an electric car last year that Mike Ungerman, I think, has a hybrid, but I'm really anxious to get some talk about electric cars. I think it's going to be the thing we're going to see lots of in the next couple of years, and it should be something we should be talking about. Some interesting stuff. Anyway, I'm glad that we're getting some hands-on experience, which is pretty good. All right, listen.
I'm looking for somebody to have experience and talk about being in a driverless car.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah,
that still scares me.
Well, we were going to do that. That was one of the things that I was going to get Dewey and I were going to do just before the COVID, and we were going to do that as part of our computer club. We were going to go for a ride because WeMo has the big Google testing site is, of course, in Mesa, and we were going to take some of the club and we were going to go for a driverless ride in a car. But that, of course, got eclipsed by of course COVID. Anyway, I got to stop talking and get on with Bob's segment because we're going to run out of time. So, Bob, are you ready to roll?
Just be ready to go.
There you go.
Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending April 8th, 2022. Hydra Criminal Forum seized and shuttered. Its Fantastic News, ex-Germany Federal Criminal Police Office and Central Office for Combating Cybercrime announced this week that they had confiscated the Hydra server infrastructure after extensive investigations into the cybercrime forum since August 2021. The site, which could only be accessed on the Tor network, was a marketplace for criminal activities, including cryptocurrency laundering, narcotic sales, and fake documents. Now visitors to the site only see the seal of several law enforcement agencies and a notice that the platform has been seized. It's fantastic news, claimed Avast security evangelist Louis Carones, and this could just be the beginning, as after seizing those servers, law enforcement will analyze them and may be able to track down the actual criminals doing business there. Sadly, it seems a good number of them were Russian in origin, and Russian authorities are not exactly known for their cooperation in stopping cybercrime. In addition to confiscating the servers, authorities seized 543 bitcoins, equal to about 25 million. U.S. authorities, such as the Drug Enforcement Administration and FBI, were also involved in the investigation. For more on this story, see Ars Technica. Hackers target NFT Discord channels. NFT generators Board App Yacht Club. Naoki, Shamans, Doodles, and Caillou Kings all confirmed that their Discord channels were hacked last week. Hackers assumed control of the channels, bots, and employed phishing tactics to trick users out of cryptocurrency. The hacked bots presented a malicious link, encouraging users to click in order to mint a fake NFT in exchange for Ethereum. In some instances, users were tricked into submitting NFTs that the bot claimed it would wrap into a token. The hacks were quickly detected and brought under control, but not before some Ethereum and NFT were stolen. Wallet addresses connected to the hack were seen to contain over 11 million in cryptocurrency. See Vice for more on this story. The metaverse's biggest hurdles are data privacy and security. In a poll of 300 US-based developers, most agreed that data privacy and security constitute the biggest hurdles the metaverse needs to overcome as it evolves into the platform of the future. The poll was conducted by live streaming software company Agora. Developers were asked if they thought the metaverse would replace real life, in-person social interactions and experiences within the next 5 years, and 55% said it was likely. When asked which industry will benefit most or experience the greatest positive impact from the metaverse, the developers put gaming and entertainment at the top. They were also asked a series of questions on the projected use of cryptocurrency in the metaverse. To read the full report, follow the link. NSW to begin digital identity verification. New South Wales in Australia is preparing to launch digital identity verification for citizens who use government services. The tech is expected to be embedded in the service NSW app, which will work by matching a photo the user takes of themselves with a stored photo. Once the images are successfully matched, the selfie and verification data would be destroyed. Service NSW CEO Damon Reese commented, "This will provide customers with greater accessibility to government services, especially customers with a disability, time-poor customers, and those in rural or regional areas." Read more at ZDNet. Cash App data breach caused by ex-employee. Financial services and stock trading platform Cash App filed a report with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission this week claiming that a data breach in December was caused by a former employee. The stolen data included brokerage account numbers, full names, brokerage portfolio values, and brokerage portfolio holdings for one trading day. Cash App reported that the ex-employee accessed the data after having been fired, but the company did not explain why it did not revoke access to the sensitive information as soon as the employee was let go. For more on this, see Security Week. Understanding how cybercrime group Fin7 has evolved into a major ransomware player. These developments go to show that ransomware continues to attract criminals and steal funds. Malware group Fin7 is once again on the move, leveraging software supply chain, remote program execution methods, and stolen credentials to deliver ransomware to enterprise networks. The group has been around since at least 2015. Initially, the gang made its reputation by maintaining persistent access at target companies with its customer backdoor malware and for targeting point-of-sale systems with credit card skimmer software. Read the whole story by following the link below. This week's must-read on the Avast blog. Avast has enhanced their all-in-one service, Avast One, by introducing brand new features designed to protect you from online scams, fraud, and other personal privacy threats. Read up to find out more about Avast One's newest additions. Read the article at the link listed. And that wraps up this week's Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and get involved.
Thank you, Bob. That the bad guys are still around and still proliferating, I say.
That's why I'm still making those videos.
There you go. All right, Hewie, you're up.
All right.
Tech for Seniors present the website of the week with Hewie Poplock.
Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Website of the week, I'm Hewie Poplock. This is website of the week number 10, punny signs. No, that's not a typo. Whether they make you laugh or cringe, puns are real and should not be underappreciated, especially to people like me who find great joy in words and wordplay. I've always liked using puns and use them more than I should. Today's round of puns is different. They're put on public signs for every passerby to gaze at. Indian Hills community in Colorado has been making regular punny roadside signs that feature genius puns and wordplay. Vince Razmierek, the guy behind these puns, puts up a sign with a new pun or joke a couple of times a week to delight people. Here are some examples. The world does not owe you anything. You're not alone. My son wants to study burrowing rodents. I told him to go for it. Fired guillotine operator sues employer. Wins severance package. Plastic Surgery Anonymous tonight. Hope we don't see any new faces. Be careful when you eat at Sam and Ella's Diner. Nothing tops a plain pizza. I have a friend who speaks to his garden. Yes, Jack and the Beans talk. I write songs about sewing machines. I'm a singer-songwriter. Fired stage designer leaves town without making a scene. When algebra teachers retire, how do they deal with the aftermath? Police car loses wheels to thief. Cops are working tirelessly to nab suspect. Someone stole my limbo stick. How low can you go? When you excel, some people want to spread sheet. To the thief who stole my glasses, I will find you. I have contacts. If you like the farmer's daughter, better do something to attract her. I was kidnapped by mimes. They did unspeakable things to me. Am I getting older, or is the supermarket finally playing great music? They are not making yardsticks any longer. Electric car owners now required to have a current license. A few puns make me numb, but math puns make me number. These are from Vince the Sign Guy. A fun idea. For a party, print out several of the Indian Hills signs. Hand out several to each person face down. Go around the room with each person turning up and reading one sign. Go to the next person. All will be laughing with tears by the second round. What started out as an April Fool's joke in 2012 has turned out to be a worldwide notoriety for a small Colorado community. It's the brainchild of Vince Rosmierek, a local resident who decided to take it upon himself to switch up the status quo while working as a volunteer for the Indian Hills community. Every few days, Rosmierek puts out a new sign. Some ideas are his own, and some he takes from others. The signs became so popular in the community, Rosmierek eventually decided to make his own Facebook page. More than 2.5 years later, 24,000 people follow the page, with each new sign post getting hundreds, if not thousands, of likes and shares. It's even made the front page of Reddit a few times. While researching information for this week's website of the week, I found another site. So you get 2 for 1 in this presentation. Site number 2 is from Instagram, and the El Arroyo restaurant is based in Austin, Texas, and has been serving up comedy alongside mouth-watering Tex-Mex dishes since 1975. Here are some examples from El Arroyo. What does a panda cook with? A panda. If a bag is not resealable, it counts as 1 serving. My brain has too many tabs open. If we're on a Zoom call and my lemonade has a salt rim, mind your own business. There are no limits to what you can accomplish when you're supposed to be doing something else. Having a dog named Shark at the beach was a bad idea. It's time for gas stations to start having a happy hour. Don't drink and wordle. My mood ring is missing, and I don't know how I feel about that. My Netflix history makes it look like I'm studying to become a murderer. You think you know stress? When I was a kid, if you missed a TV show, you just missed it forever. If your phone doesn't ring, it's me. The main function of the little toe is to make sure all the furniture is in place. It's weird being the same age as old people. I hope that you smiled a bit today. This has been Website of the Week number 10. I'm Hewie Poplock.
That's pretty cool. So he's smart enough, he probably made a lot of the signs up himself, eh?
Yep.
That's interesting, yeah.
And then he gets ideas from people send him. Of course,
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
he's famous, and he's selling calendars and coffee
Yeah.
cups and all things with a lot of them.
Great
But, I
idea.
just got a new one today on Facebook. I signed up, and so it's showing up on my Facebook. Yeah, they just, some of them just really crack me up.
Very good. Thanks, Huey. Bob, are you ready to roll? Unmute yourself.
The second time around might be better than the first.
Changing your default browser in Windows 11 has become a pain in the butt. Up till now, if you wanted to change your default browser, you had to change each associated extension on its own. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Set default for an application. So if we put Chrome in here and then select Chrome, you'll notice that everything has to be done by file type. There isn't one way to do it and say, okay, make this my default browser. That's about to change. Let me show you what happens now once you've installed this latest update to Windows 11. Once you've installed the March 22nd cumulative update for Windows 11, which is KB5011563, things get a bit easier if you want to change your default browser. Let me show you how to do that. Open up Windows Settings, and the easiest way to do that is to use the shortcut key combination of Windows key and I. Once you open that, next you want to go to Apps. Then you want to select Default Apps. And where it says Set Default for Applications, do a search. In my case, I want to make sure that Chrome is my default browser. So type in Chrome and then select Google Chrome. And up on top now it says make Google Chrome your default browser. Once I select that, that's it. It now changes all of the different extensions that are part of what a browser controls. It is now that simple. Of course, if you use a different browser, just put that other browser in your search, open it, and you have a chance to select that browser and make it your default. No more having to go through and change every single extension that's part of being the items that a browser opens. Stay safe, stay secure. I hope that helps.
Thanks, Bob. That's
You're welcome.
good information. And well, it's going to get a little easier for us to change browsers for sure. Excellent. All right.
It also probably saves Microsoft from another lawsuit.
Yeah, right. I was thinking about the European Economic Union, thinking they're going to be on top of these guys. Anyway, thanks a lot. And now I want to talk a little bit about printers. So I've got something for you today. Let's talk a bit about printer ink.
Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Is Hewlett-Packard's Instant Ink worth purchasing? Well, I bought a printer, and let's see what I found out. Full disclosure, the prices quoted in this presentation are all in Canadian dollars. So if you are from another country watching this presentation, you'll have to convert this, such as most people will probably be in the United States, so you'll have to reduce the price by about 25%. All the prices, including HP's Instant Ink prices, are all in Canadian dollars off the Canadian sites. So let's look at the printer I had and the one that I replaced. The printer I had was an HP 4520. This is a printer I bought in 2015 for $148. It was a great printer. We used it for many years and it still works perfectly fine. We actually transported this to Mesa, Arizona and back each year as we traveled. I replaced this printer with the HP 6055E, which I just bought in March of this year for about the same price. I bought it for $149 on sale. I bought it through Amazon and it was eligible for the HP Instant Ink program, which we are going to talk about today. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time talking about the features of both these printers. They are very similar. So this printer is my wife's printer and she uses it for quilting. She prints a lot of patterns for sewing on this machine, so she really wanted a color inkjet printer. This really has done very well for us. We don't print a large amount, but it does work very well for our needs. The HP 4520 did an excellent job, but I was interested in the Instant Ink program, and by my comparison now, it's going to save me about half our printing costs. And let me explain how this works. Over the past 7 years, I've been using remanufactured cartridges for my 4520. I found that Value Toner was the most reliable cartridge, having a new chipset in each time I purchased it. I required roughly 2 boxes of cartridges, so it would require a 63XL color and a 63XL black cartridge. Each set was around $50. Currently with the Instant Ink program, I'm going to be paying $60, which would be a savings of $40. So what we're really talking about is HP's smart printing system. You have to purchase a printer that has this capability, and my 4520 didn't. So that's why I purchased a new printer, so that it would have the HP smart printing system and I would be able to use the Instant Ink program. Let me explain how this works. Now these are cloud-based HP printers that keep themselves up to date and ready to print from any device anywhere. Now the Smart Ink subscription means that you can get ink or toner for less. In fact, in some cases, it's 50% less than the original HP inkjet cartridges. And in my case, I got a bonus of the first 6 months free ink. So all I could print for 6 months free of charge as a bonus. Let's look at this more closely. So you can get more done because you can use the HP Smart app on your phone. All your printing needs can be printed directly from your phone to the printer. Also, Hewlett-Packard is involved in protecting our forests of the future and donates large amounts of money for reforestation. All right, let's look at the unboxing and setup of an HP Smart printer. The first thing you'll do is take it out of the box, and as you see in this diagram, you'll see you get some pamphlets. My advice is to simply stop right there and don't go any farther. You have two options. Don't continue to unbox the machine, open it up, take all the cardboard out, and plug it in, and then get ready to print. What you need to do is go through the installation process correctly, and let me tell you how that can be accomplished. The first, you can either use it as an app on your phone, or you can use the website provided in the HP information. So the first thing you need to do is go to the website, and you'll find you have to put in the model number of your printer. Once you do this, it'll take over and it will guide you through the complete unboxing, taking your cardboard out of all the little spots. It will tell you how to set the printer up, including printing a test page and inserting your ink cartridges. It is so important that you follow this through and you'll have no problems. Most people get stuck on the connecting to Wi-Fi device, and when they try to find their Wi-Fi password, they can't remember what it is. In this setup process, you don't need to know your Wi-Fi password. HP does all that for you. It does take a little bit of time, so don't be impatient. Restarting your computer, hitting escape, and all those sort of things is just going to make the process more complicated. Relax, calm down, go have a cup of coffee, come back, and it will probably all be done for you. Let's look at the option about instant ink though. So your first menu will be this, and it will show you that your HP Envy 6055 printer is eligible for HP Instant Ink. Select Continue to start printer setup and subscription enrollment. If this is not the correct printer, this is where you can change it. The next stage will be setting up an HP account. You put all your usual information in here, including your credit card information, and you'll create an HP account. Now, by creating this account, you are entering into the Instant Ink printing program. This is a 2-year contract in which HP is going to monitor the number of pages that you print and send you cartridges as you require. For this, there is a monthly fee, which we'll go over now in choosing a plan. At any time, if you wish to cancel a contract through the 2-year period, you can do so, and all you'll be charged is for the inkjet cartridges that you have used. Now, to choose a plan, you need to know how many pages a month you're going to print. Not a problem. You can change your plan each month as your printing requirements might change. So just try and get an estimate of what you might print. If you don't print very much, maybe you're a senior and you might print 10 pages a month, then the $1.25 a month plan would be adequate. Now, if you don't require the 10 pages a month, you can roll over up to 30 unused pages to the next month. And you can, each month you can buy an extra set of 10 pages for $1.25 if you like. But if you're an occasional printer, this is great. You're going to find that under $16, you'll have all your inkjet printing needs for the whole year. So now let's move over to the 50 pages a month. This is the plan that I purchased. I can roll over 150 unused pages to the next month, and if I need to purchase more pages, I can produce an extra 10 pages for $1.25. That means my total cost for the year of inkjet printing, assuming I can stay within budget, will be around $66. You'll see what my stats are in a moment, but this should be very adequate for our printing needs. As we move on, you can see the moderate printing plan would be $7.49 for 100 pages per month. And again, you have 300 unused pages that can be rolled over. For frequent printing, then they have a 300 page per month at $13.99 or $168 per year. If you are heavy duty, then you can get 700 pages a month at $28.99 or $348 per year. It is the business plan, which was a promotion, and I got this for the first 6 months. So I have all the free printing I can do up to 700 pages per month for the first 6 months, and there's no charge. This is part of the promotion to the HP Insta Ink printing program. All right, if we look at my Insta Ink account, when I log in, you'll see my monthly summary. I've used 42 out of 700 pages this month. Again, I don't think I'm going to be a big printer. You can see my ink cartridge status, and you'll see I have lots of ink in both cartridges. You'll all see on the right hand side, you can see the plan I have, which of course you can change and change your billing or shipping as required. Here I can see my print and payment history. I can see how many pages are printed per day and how much ink I have left and what is being charged. So on my plan, I won't be paying anything for the first 6 months. I will have a 2-year contract in which I'll have to pay about $66 at my 50 pages per month. So is HP Insta Ink's program for you? I think there are significant cost savings for you, but there are a few things that you should remember. First of all, that if you do an error in printing and you print a whole bunch of, remember those ASCII characters, and it prints a whole bunch of pages out, well, that will all be counted against you. So beware of those fees. And remember, if you have overages each month, you need to choose the correct plan. HP does monitor how many pages that you print, although they monitor this whether you're in the plan or not. Remember replacement cartridges can take up to 10 days to come. Unused prints roll over to the next month up to a certain point. And your printer must be connected to the internet. So yes, you must be on the internet for this to accurately work. Insta Ink only works with certain printers, and if you forget to pay your bill or your credit card doesn't work, they're going to cut you off. So remember this when you're considering the program. I'm happy with it so far, and I'll report back in a year to let you know how I feel about it. But so far, I've got my 700 pages a month, but I'm not going to be printing that much. Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Until we meet again.
All right. Good. Hopefully Bob, did that go okay? Did it play fine?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, good. I don't know. That was a crazy Zoom thing. All right. Let's see who's up next. Hewie, I guess you're up next, eh?
Oh, good.
Yeah, we haven't heard from you for a while.
Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Phone link. I'm Hewie Poplock. Microsoft first announced Your Phone and Your Phone companion apps back in October of 2018. Since then, they have started to bring capabilities and content from your Android phone to your Windows PC. They have been evolving the app experiences. Their latest evolution brings a new name to unify the experience. With that, they have introduced Microsoft's Phone Link as the PC app experience and linked to Windows as the mobile app for Android devices. I have been using Your Phone with my nearly 5-year-old Samsung S8 Plus phone. This past week, I upgraded to a Samsung S22 Ultra. Microsoft just recently upgraded my Your Phone to the new Phone Link. I want to show you how they work together. Phone Link only works with most Samsung and Honor phones and Microsoft Duo. However, I discovered there is a similar app that works with most other Android phones and iPhones. More on that later. Let's take a look at the Phone Link app. We go down to the taskbar. You'll note that it still says your phone when I put the mouse over it. That mouse over, I have not found a way to change what it says. That's probably in the coding, and that'll be changed in an upcoming update. Right now, you will see a number 21, and that is a badge which shows the number of unread messages and notifications on your PC's taskbar and in the Phone Link app. That feature can be turned on or off. By clicking the icon, it opens the app. Let's full screen the app and take a look at it. You'll notice that the app started out in settings. Whatever you were last doing in Phone Link is what it will open to. So we'll come back to settings in a moment. Let's take a look over on the left to see what we have. We have first at the top, we have the phone and it is connected. It shows me the percentage of battery remaining on my phone. There are 4 items up here at the top. The first one is do not disturb, and that's turned off. I really should turn it on while I'm doing this recording, so I'm going to do that right now. So if someone calls, it will not show up on my PC screen. Next is the Bluetooth, and that's turned on. We've turned the volume off because we turned do not disturb on. And the audio player is on. There is the badge that I showed you from the bottom, and it shows that there are 21 notifications. Let's click on notifications and take a look. It's showing me all of the notifications, so we could open any one of them and take a look at it. I can also mark something as read, and I can reply to it from here. However, before I do that, what I would have to do is take a look at my phone. We need permission to display the phone screen, so I have to go to my phone, sign into the phone. It shows my screen, so now we are connected, so we can close this. Let's take a look again at the notifications we're looking at. Let's now go to the messages, and I can see all of my text messages. I can also create a new one. I can answer one. So I can do any of my texting from this app without going to the phone. I can also look at my photos that are on my phone. I can look at all of the apps that are on my phone. And I've got a lot of them. And I can look at my call record. If you'll notice over here, it says connect your phone and PC. So I'm going to connect it. And now you'll see a dialing. So I can actually dial a number and place a call using the microphone and speakers or headset that's on my PC instead of picking up my phone and making a phone call. I can do it right from my PC. And let's go to the phone. You will see what my phone is. You'll see that I can do anything on my phone. I can drag it, go to the next screen, go to the next screen. I can look at all of my notifications on the phone. It's just like using my phone, but I'm doing it with my mouse. If I want to go to, say, the Wemo, which is my IoT program, you can see I can turn on the bedroom light. I don't know if you saw it get a little bit brighter in here or not. Turn it off from here, as well as tell Miss A to do it. But I can do everything that's on the phone. I can do it directly from my PC by using my mouse. Now let's take a look at the settings. You will see there's general, my devices, features, personalization, troubleshooting, feedback and community, and about. We're looking at general now. Remember the badge with the numbers on it? I can turn that feature off if I want right here. Under features, you will see that I have everything turned on for each of the items. I'm not going to go into each one, but just I'm showing you that there's a lot of settings within the app. I have been discussing Phone Link by Microsoft, but it only works well with Samsung devices. In a step-by-step tutorial, Kevin Stratford shows you how you can send and receive text messages on a Windows PC using either an iPhone or an Android phone. Windows includes an app called Phone Link. In this video, you'll learn how to use the Dell Mobile Connect app, which is free and it works with all PCs and phone types. With Dell Mobile Connect, you can send and receive text messages, view phone notifications, make phone calls, and download pictures and videos from your phone to your PC, mirror your phone onto your PC, and even control your phone from your PC. You do not need a Dell computer to do this. This has been Phone Link. I'm Hewie Poplock. And that's it. One
There you
thing
go.
I did discover as I was playing with this is you're supposed to be able to move files from your phone to your PC or from your PC to your phone directly just sitting at your phone. And I found that moving them to the phone worked great. When I tried to move them from the phone to my PC, the app closed, everything closed up on it. So it wasn't working. Hopefully they'll get that fixed.
Yeah, they'll
And
probably have lots of questions in the Q&A about
Sure,
that. That's
yeah.
great. Thanks a lot. Bob, are you ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
The Google Play Store isn't always safe, and here's what you need to know. Taking a minute or two to ask a few questions about an application before downloading it can greatly reduce your chances of downloading a malicious app. Before you download another application from the more than 3 million that are in the Google Play Store, read on to learn a few simple things you can do to protect yourself. Before we get into that, let's establish why this is worthwhile. As noted by Tech Advisor, the Google Play Store continues to be targeted with malware attacks. Several apps posing as useful tools have infected more than 300,000 Android devices, which exposed users' personal data. You should assume that everything within the store has already been vetted and is safe, knowing that some apps are designed to look innocent but steal your data. There are some simple things to do to better protect yourself. Start by checking the number of downloads. Malicious apps do not usually last long on the Google Play Store, as they are removed when they are identified and reported. So these bad apps usually don't have the chance to accumulate lots of downloads. Moreover, with more people using an app, the chances of spotting undesired behavior of a system increases. Most of the apps on the Google Play Store have less than 100 downloads. 65.4% all downloads are from the top 0.055% apps. Next, check if an app has a link to a privacy policy and that the link leads to an actual privacy policy. Overall, it's good practice when an app or a web page has a privacy policy so users can get a better understanding of what data is collected and how it's being processed. If an app handles privacy and security data, it's required to have a privacy policy in many countries. Moreover, the fact that an app has a link to a privacy policy listed in the Google Play Store does not necessarily mean that the policy is still available or leads to relevant content. By checking where such a link goes, you can easily take steps to verify the legitimacy of an app. You definitely need to check the list of permissions the app is asking for. The names of the permissions can be confusing, and there are literally hundreds of them. There are more general ones, access to the internet, access to Bluetooth, but also very sensitive ones, access to your location, microphone, camera, and contacts. If you're downloading a simple app, it might be a red flag if the list of permissions is long. For example, the app Real Drum, a drum simulator, asks for access to all of the contacts and current cellular network information, the status of any ongoing calls, and a list of any phone accounts registered on the device. All of those permissions seem quite unnecessary. Another example is Ibis Paint X, which is a drawing app that requests permissions to record audio. The list of the permission in the Google Play Store is quite hidden. First, you need to go to the app's details and then scroll to the bottom where there is a link to the list of permissions. Taking a minute or two to ask a few questions about an app before downloading it can greatly reduce your chances of downloading a malicious app. Thanks to Joe Bosso for sharing this information. Just follow the link below. After absorbing all of this information, you should now be an expert in making sure that the apps you installed on your Android devices are safe, secure, and helpful. And you always make sure that the permission asked by the app is truly needed for the app to perform its task. If that's not the case, simply find another app that meets those qualifications. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks a lot. Bray, just before I'm just going to sign off on YouTube.
Sure.
And then we'll get you going here. So if you're over on YouTube, thank you for coming. Thank you so much. We'll be ending our broadcast now on YouTube. If you want to pop over to and participate in the Q&A, we're happy to have you. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. All right, Ray, go ahead. I'll just stop the live screen.
Let me do that. All right. Whatever happened to vocal duos? Today I'm going to discuss for my Canadian friends, Ian and Sylvia. Now, if you ask me to name a top vocal duo these days, I'd be hard pressed. The only one that comes to mind is Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak with their band known as Silk Sonic. And that's only because their song Leave the Door Open at the Grammys last week won all 4 of the categories it was up for, including Record of the Year. Now, as I think back to the 1960s and a bit beyond, my favorite male vocal duos would include, and this is in no particular order, the Righteous Brothers, Simon and Garfunkel, Everly Brothers, Jan and Dean. For female-male combination duos, that would include Sonny and Cher, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, and even the Carpenters, although Richard really did not sing all that much. But my favorite husband and wife singing duo is Canadian couple Ian and Sylvia. Now, Ian Tyson was born in Victoria, British Columbia, 1933, and he initially wanted to be a rodeo rider. But injuries early on convinced him to take a different direction, so he wisely learned how to play the guitar. Sylvia Fricka was born in Chatham, Ontario in 1940, and the two met while performing at coffee houses in Toronto. By 1962, with the folk music trend in full swing, they had moved to New York City and were signed to a recording contract with Vanguard Records. Their first album, self-titled Ian and Sylvia, was released in that year and consisted of mostly traditional folk songs and really only had moderate success. The second LP in 1963 was a different story. Titled Four Strong Winds, this featured song became a major hit in Canada. In fact, years later, the song was named the greatest Canadian song of all time by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation radio program, 50 Tracks, the Canadian version. Now, Ian and Sylvia were married in 1964, but by 1975, they stopped performing together and divorced later that same year. Going forward, both of them continued with solo careers, and both were inducted into the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame. In 1986, they came together for a reunion concert that included several other Canadian singers. The link below and what I'm going to put in the chat area is the entire almost hour-long performance. But for today's purposes, I've done some video editing just to feature the opening song, you were on my mind. For those that intend to watch this concert, which I highly recommend, you might guess the song Four Strong Winds is the finale. Okay. They were great.
Yes, good
Yep.
selection. Well done, Ray. Well done, Victoria. Wow.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that.
Yeah. All our Victoria fans out there. I'm sure Dorothy and George and all the Victoria gang will be really pleased with that. It's excellent. Do they still live in? I guess they don't live in Victoria. They live. You had mentioned they live in.
Yeah, they had moved to New York, but I'm sure that I'm thinking they're in Toronto.
Toronto.
I'm not positive of that.
Okay. Well, thanks so much. That's great. Now we're going to move into the question and answer part of our show. Before we do, though, I want to thank everyone for coming. If you have to leave, we'll see you back same time, same place next week. And just to remind you that our premiere service will begin at hour. I've put the link in the chat a number of times today. Dewey will be talking on ATSC. I'll be talking on VR for Seniors Part 2. And Hewie's going to talk on Google Drive and file management with a Chromebook. So all this at 1:30. It's free service. All you have to do is click the link I put in the chat, or if you subscribe to our newsletter, you'll be getting that in the Saturday newsletter. The link will be there for you. Now, we're going to start. We have a lot of people in the audience today, which is thank you so much for coming. We will. It's helpful if you can put your hand up, because then I can see who we need to acknowledge and say yes. So we're going to open the question and answer up now. If you have a question, just put your hand up, go down to that little reactions thing at the bottom there and hit reactions and put your hand up, and then you'll pop up to the top of the screen and we can answer your questions. We have, Hewie, do you have a question or a comment?
A comment I want to add to my presentation about the phone link and your phone. Bob mentioned yesterday when we were talking on the TechSig that apparently it does work with other phones. He has a Pixel 6, I believe. It doesn't, not everything works, but some of the things work. And so it's worth giving it a try before you go and go to the YouTube and watch the Dell program that you can install. That you do have to make one change in the registry, and I don't always advise people to do that. But if you don't want to do that, I would try the phone link with your phone and see if it works.
On my Pixel 6, the only thing I cannot do is see my apps. Everything else works just the same as you described it.
Are you able to dial out with the phone as well?
Oh yeah, I can dial out. I can do everything else, but I just can't do like the apps.
Okay.
And
But it's neat to be able to do that, because then you don't have to go looking for your phone if it's in the other room. And somebody asked a question. They are connected by Bluetooth.
Yep.
So it's a Bluetooth connection between your phone and your PC that allows you to do all of that.
now I use a program called Visor, VYSOR, that allows me to connect my phone to my computer. And then of course I have full control, and it puts the phone just as it does in yours.
Yeah, I noticed that Visor's on my phone, and I don't remember ever using it. I'm sure I did put it on. That was on my old phone. When I got the new phone, they just transferred everything over.
I put Visor on because sometimes I want to demonstrate my phone when I'm doing presentations and stuff. And that was a way for me to display the phone itself on the computer screen and actually use it.
All right, let's Chris Rosinski. Of course, Chris and I go back a long ways. We taught Chromebooks in that Silvercom CTC in our computer club. So, Chris, are you still in Mesa, or have you moved on now?
Well, we sold the house in Mesa last Monday. We're in North Carolina, and our house in North Carolina. Mesa's over.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. And hi, Edith. Hi. Hi. How you doing?
Hi to Gail too.
I will. Yeah, thanks.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Okay, I've got a comment and then I have a question.
Okay.
The comment is about Instant Ink. We've been on the Instant Ink program begging everybody to use it for at least 8 years. We have currently 3 printers on the Instant Ink program. We travel all over the country, and all we have to do is tell them where we are, and the ink follows us. So you don't have to worry about going back and forth. Then the ink will. You just tell them when to send it, and it shows up. A couple of things. One, there is a plan that I guess maybe after you had the Instant Ink program, if you want to put it on, you can put it on hold and not pay and just keep it there and reactivate it. Or there's a plan, I think it's, what is it, either 15 pages? You get 15 pages, 15 pages or something like free or something. There's additional plans with that. It's always, and one other really important thing, once you're on the Instant Ink program, you get inks and you always have these ink available. If you go off the plan for a particular period of time, don't expect those inks to work because they shut those inks right off. You don't get to empty the cartridge. You gotta go buy some other ones. It's really a good program and saves a lot of money. And the nice thing about it is when you call them if you have a problem, they will talk you through just about anything, and they all speak English, not Filipino or something else that you can't understand. So that's our feeling about Instant Ink. I have a question that's never been solved. When we want to screen share anything to our TV, it screen shares everything except Zoom. And when we do Zoom, it screen shares the picture, but the sound stays on the device like a phone that we're screen sharing. We can't seem to get the sound to come up to the TV on the screen sharing only for Zoom. Is there anybody that knows how to do that or has successfully breached that problem?
I'm suggesting that's on how it manages the audio from your phone, but other sharing works with the audio, correct? Onto the screen.
Everything but Zoom.
Everything but Zoom. Carl, do you have an answer to that?
I have a similar experience, and basically what's going on is the PC has to detect the other audio source, the external source. And what I've had to do, I've had to plug in the HDMI cable a couple times and hope it'll, when it's searching again, it'll find the audio source in the TV. Now my TV, I have a control amplifier, stereo system. And when it comes up, it'll say it found my Sony, whatever the name of it is, amplifier. But occasionally I get the same problem.
So I wonder, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
It may be because we're going through something called Screen Beam Mini 2 and not going directly to the input on the TV. I don't know whether that's it or not.
Does anyone else in the audience, do they screen share their Zoom onto a TV? Is there anyone else that does that?
Another suggestion is the order in which you connect the devices. Like today, I turned on the computer before I had the TV come on. And so you might try turning the TV on first, then plug the HDMI cable. The issue is that the computer has to detect the other amplifier.
We are not using HDMI. We are sharing wirelessly to the TV set.
Oh, well, that's another further complication.
Anyway, the reason we do that is because the volume on the computers is just so loud on the Chromebooks, and then I have to do Bluetooth and all that stuff. So if we screen share to the TV, I can use the amplifier on the TV, turn it up loud, move around the room, and do all that sort of stuff. So if anybody happens to solve that problem, just let us know. And that's the end of my 2 cents worth.
So, Chris,
I haven't tried it often.
I would say
I bought a Facebook portal that connects to the TV, and you don't even have to use a computer, and you can Facebook through it.
Yeah. Chris, the other thing I would say is that first of all, what you want to do is very common. Like I would think a lot of people want to do what you want to do is screen share onto a TV. So my advice would be if you've Googled it, there's probably someone's written, done a video on about this on Google. So I would Google. I see Bill's got his hand out. Just hold a second, Bill. So I'm sure the answer is there. It's just we don't know the answer. Okay.
Right.
Now, just to follow up, Chris, what you said about the ink share, I am very interested in the instant ink, and that's why I bought the printer so I could do the article. And I think it's going to be a great service. Of course, you may or may not know that Warren Buffett, who you've heard of Warren, have you, right? Has agrees with you, and he, of course, this week sold all his stake in MasterCard and bought a large chunk of HP. So he does agree that it's a good company and a lot of long-term future potential there, which of course is I think is in the instant ink program. I think people should give this a serious look. I think it's a great program, and I hadn't thought about the other things you mentioned. So thanks a lot for that too, Chris.
I wanted to comment on instant ink too.
Okay, Bill, did you have something about, just before we finish? Bill, did you have something specifically about Chris? Did you have something that you wanted to add to that?
Yes, for Chris and Carl.
Yeah.
I remember somewhere in the Zoom settings you could select what kind of audio device you wanted to hear from and what kind of microphone device you wanted to input with.
Right.
But it was early on when I set up my Zoom, and I recall that being in there somewhere where you could tell it which place
which
you wanted.
audio
That
input.
may solve the issue.
Right. Chris, have you looked at that? Have you looked at the audio input?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I assumed you had. Yeah, there's an audio in settings. There's an audio input. So you might want to look at that.
Says select speaker. And if you're streaming it to someplace, that device should be on there, and you can then select it as the speaker.
That's both on Chromebook and Microsoft?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about the Chromebook. I'm on a Windows computer.
Yeah, but it's on a Chromebook.
I threw our computers away a few years ago.
It's in your settings, in the Zoom settings. Select a speaker.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
I just looked on my Chromebook and it does have that.
Okay. Great. Okay.
I've used the Microsoft settings for the audio also. And the problem is that if it hasn't detected an external source or device, then you can't do anything.
Right. So it's thanks, Carl. That's probably in the settings.
I got one more comment on the instant ink.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Over a year, the greatest advantage is people who want to print color. This would be ideal for like Chris, because they charge you the same cost per page, whether it's
right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Color or 1% color.
Yeah.
So everything I print now. I started out with a January of last year. I bought a new printer. The printer I have is a 9018, and I would suggest anybody look at that. It is so fast that I ended up, my first month I had 100 pages. I printed over 400 because I had the new printer. And with the new printer, it comes with inducements too. Like there was $40 worth of credit towards printing. And Instant Ink, it recognized all that. I was very happy. Instant Ink, as you know, gave some other additional offers. And I have the 300 page plan for $12.71 here in the States.
Right. So it's considerably cheaper down. Yeah. But that's, so that's a lot of printing. Do you print 300 pages a month?
Well, what happens is other people tell me I like to print a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff with genealogy.
Oh, okay.
I like to print it out. And the other thing is that the cartridges that they send you are much higher capacity than you ones buy at the store.
That's right.
You don't change them very often. I think I change even at 300 page a month. I don't remember the last time they sent me cartridges.
Ron mentioned this in his talk, but it's really important that you can bank the unused pages up to 3 times your monthly usage. So once you get going, if you have a month where you're going to do a lot, so we've always, if we're on the 300 pages, we've always got 9, and we always got the extra 600 pages in the bank. So if we run over on a month, so once you get going, you can actually reduce the amount of pages you use when you're waiting when you're banking some pages, you don't have to worry about going over, because a couple of months you might do double the amount of pages, but so you can back up the number of pages that you're paying for a month easily after you get going and put stuff in the bank.
And I think you only bank that for 1 month or something. There's a limit on it.
Yeah, 3 times. 3 times your monthly amount is what you can keep in the bank.
I'm talking about carrying it forward. You can only carry it forward so long. You can't carry it forever. I think it's only 30 days you can carry it.
I don't know.
We never ran into that problem.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's a really, really good program, and I'm super excited about that. They've already sent me my replacement cartridges, even though I still haven't got through the initial ones. And remember, the current promotion is you get 6 months free. So go for printing. It's crazy.
We are always ahead a couple of cartridges after you get going on this for a few months. You always find that you always have extra cartridges ready to put in, and if you get worried and get short, you just call them up and they'll send you another one.
That's good. I love it. It's great. Jim Glass, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention to Chris that I'm using a Roku Smart TV as my monitor, and with a short HDMI cable. That's where having a small laptop works really well. And all I do is when I turn it on, it lets me choose which computer I want to use as a monitor, and then it signs in, and I can use whichever sound source I want, whether it's the TV source, my laptop, or an external set of speakers. Just be sure you set your camcorder and your speakers to turn on first. Plug it in before you turn on Zoom.
Thank you. I think of my complications may be wireless. I haven't plugged an HDMI cord into any TV set in 4 or 5 years. I do everything wirelessly. We're trying to move into the 21st century and kill the wires. It's this particular problem in the motorhome, because we have a small motorhome. We go out with cables.
How are you?
Cables. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Bill. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bill. You're muted.
You're muted.
Okay. This is something for everybody, not just Chris and Carl, but on the printing of pages, remember you can print front and back,
right,
and also the number of pages. If you increase your font size, you can actually make a page print like 2 pages on one side,
right,
and it actually comes out pretty good. I've been doing that with receipts, and it'll even print the location you're from.
Wait a minute. They count front and back as 2 pages.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you can print 2 pages in 1 page. In other words,
I see, by reducing it down. Yeah. And there's also, you can also get fonts that print, and they print half the amount of ink. But who cares if you have instant ink, right? It doesn't matter. Murray, Bill. Murray, have you got one quick question? We only have 1 minute left. Sorry, you're muted.
No, not muted. We just can't hear him.
We just can't hear you.
No.
Nope, nothing coming out. Just like I was this morning when I logged on. No, we're not hearing you. Murray, you'll have to hold that thought till next week. We'll definitely catch up with you next week. Listen, I want to thank everybody for a great show today. Thanks for everyone for coming. We do appreciate you. Please don't forget, our premiere service is about to start in 10 minutes. Have a little bathroom break and come back and watch the show. We will, of course, be Tech for Senior Live. We'll be here this Thursday. So come and listen to us. And if not, we will see you next Monday. All right. Thanks for coming, everyone. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.